Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make two really easy DIY Dollar Tree ornaments. And I'm going to use some fabric from the other store. We're going to start with this one first. Now, you don't have to get your fabric from other stores. You're going to need one of these small styrofoam balls. Comes in a 3-pack. You could use this fabric from the Dollar Tree if you're so lucky to find one. Or one of these fat quarters from Walmart. Some red jute. I prefer red, but you can use the plain. And that blue thing with the handle that does the thing that the blue thing does. Okay, so this, I learned a new word called homespun. When a fabric is woven with the print on it, it's homespun, which means that you could see the same print pattern on the inside and out. This one is not. This is printed on. So this fabric, I want to show you two ways to do it. And like I said, these are both really good kid-friendly projects. The first thing I want to show you with this is if you end up getting a fabric that's just printed on one side, I wanted to show you a special way to fold the fabric so that the pattern is also on the inside of the top of the little pouch. It's looking to look like a beggar's purse almost when it's done. I made an ornament like this. Ooh. I'm going to guess and venture to say 1994? 1992. I was big into making ornaments for everybody because I was poor when I was a youth. So, and I still have it. I put it on my tree every year. So the first thing we're going to do, like we did with the ornaments of the past, we're going to just take a T-pin with a string of jute and we're going to glue it into the top of that ornament. You don't have to glue it. I just told everybody that if this is your first time watching one of these ornaments with us, gluing just makes it last longer is all it is. It's not necessarily, it's not like a 911 emergency. It'll just make it last for years. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to lay out your fabric, and this is a whole fat quarter. A fat quarter, for those of you who don't know, is 1/4 of a yard of fabric. And now some yards of fabric are 44 inches, so fat quarters could be 22 inches wide, and some are only 42 inches, and they can be 21 inches wide by 18 inches, which is half of a yard. So if you imagine 4 of these put together in a square would equal 1/4 of a fabric. That's where the name comes from. So if you see I'm folding it like a little origami package. Oh, I'm trying to make it square first. Sorry about that. I forgot to tell you that. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make it square. How do you make it square? That's easy enough. We all made these little Chinese fortune teller things when we were young, right? That's what we used to call them in school anyway. When you say pick a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So what we do is once we make it square, which we just take the corner of one fabric and fold, match two sides where a corner is even, and then you can make a square. I'm sorry the camera is too close for you to see exactly how that works. So now I'm just taking the 4 corners and I'm folding them in towards the center, and I'm making sure I have no fabric showing on each one of those corners. And I'm going to put the bowl in the middle and I'm just going to pinch it all up. I know it just can't be that simple, Jerry. It can't. Well, it is. And this is cute because not only does it make the pattern on the inside, but it does give you almost like a ruffly effect. But that's also rich people's way of doing it because that's like 97 cents worth of fabric right there. So I'll show you here what it looks like when you're all done. Once you got that, you're just going to tie a piece of the jute around the collar and go to town. Or a piece of ribbon. I think I was testing out a piece of Dollar Tree ribbon with the ugly sweater pattern on it. But I want to show you here that we're just going to use 1/4 of that piece of fabric. We're going to do that same sort of Chinese fortune teller trick, and we want to make sure we have enough fabric. And we're going to end up using about 1/4 of this. Oh. This is me folding it in half. Long ways to cut it in half, and then fold it sideways to cut it in quarters. I didn't cut it all the way through because I never know when I might need a long piece like that, an L. You never know, you might need an L worth of fabric. So this is a fat quarter cut into a square and then 1/4 of that. And you put the ball in the middle and you squeeze up. Now if you have kids working with you or mobility issues or like arthritis, you can do this and then take a giant rubber band and put it up around the bowl to hold the cinch in a little bit. Hold the fabric up at the top while you go ahead and tie the string. So I decided another way to help with that mobility and that kind of stuff if you don't have a rubber band is I'm folding up the four sides of the fabric. I want to make sure that I actually have it even. So I've taken each side and I folded it up to where the pin is. I've done opposite sides, and then I'm going to turn it and do the other opposite sides. Just a tiny, tiny dot of glue. That's why I didn't tell you you needed glue, because this is also not necessary. This is just if you have difficulty holding, if you don't have little hands helping you. I didn't have little hands helping me. So once that's all done, I'm just going to take all four pieces of the fabric that were left over, and I'm going to bring them together. Make sure that you don't trap your hanger in there, your string that you made for your hanger. And then I'm just going to pinch it in. And then I'm going to use the red jute to tie. Oh, no. Is it green? Yeah. Red, green. I can't decide. I think I'll use red. I'm wrapping it a few times to cinch the top of the bag. And the one that I had made before, you know what? I should stick that picture on the end there. Maybe I'll show you guys that at the end if I can get my lazy butt off the couch and take a picture of it. No, I'm just kidding. But the one that I had made in the past had sort of gold ribbon and a gold hanger, but it was a plaid fabric, which is what inspired me to teach you guys how to make this. And that's really all it is. Which, like I said, this would be great for kids. And again, we talked about nostalgic sort of ornaments. You can use grandpa's old work shirt, t-shirts, old fabric, anything that's nostalgic that you want to hold near and dear to your heart. That would be so great to make one of these out of. And here it is, simple and easy. And the next one we're going to do is one of these personalized, it can be personalized, glass quote-unquote plastic ornaments. You're going to need one of these. This is the 2-pack. These are the small ones. You're going to need some more of this red jute. Now we're going to stuff it with burlap color of your choice. I picked red, and then I'm going to make a bow out of this burlap ribbon. And you're going to need these pen writers, ornament thingies, and then that blue thing again. Those ornament writer pens are really great. They had really good reviews from It's a Deal, and I was so excited to find them. So if you haven't found them, you can use any kind of paint pen or paint marker would work, okay? So as I said, these are the 2-pack of plastic. I'm going to use my candle to hold the bowl again. Pull the stopper out. That's the first thing I wanted to do. And then I personally like white and silver. I used to have lots of gold on my tree. I mostly just have white and silver and natural burlaps and stuff. But I originally was thinking I was going to write Merry Christmas, because that was the inspiration on Pinterest. This was an inspiration for a Cricut craft on Pinterest to like print out the words and stuff it with burlap. But I don't have a Cricut. You want to save up money and send me a Cricut? Go right ahead. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But I started to write Merry Christmas, and then I realized, what would be better than just writing Merry Christmas? All of the fun, happy words about Christmas. So I picked Merry, joy, hope, peace, love, just all over in different fonts. And you don't have to do this, obviously. You want to write Aunt Sally. Do you want to write Meg? Do you want to write the dog's name with a little bone? You go right ahead. This is as personalized as you can make it, is what you can do for this. Now, if you do have trouble with your penmanship, there is a trick to take a piece of paper with the writing on it and to roll it up and put it inside so it opens up, and then you can do that and you can copy the words. But you know what I found out over the years? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It looks beautiful. It's personalized. It comes from the heart. My cousins used to bring over ornaments for me to write on all the time because I had such nice handwriting. But you know what? I have 2 of them, each one written by them individually, and they are so cherished to me because they came from them. It means so much. It means so much. So I've just, like I said, I'm picking a bunch of different fonts, and I'm using the silver and the white paint pens. I tried to use the silver marker that they sold at the Dollar Tree for a while. And I have my finger in the globe because I originally wrote Merry, and then I put it down, and it took some of the Merry away because it wasn't dry enough. So I'm just leaving it there to dry for a little bit before I put it down in the bowl. And then I'm going to put pieces of red burlap in here. And I had pieces of red burlap cut up already. But again, the original had just natural colored burlap in it. So you guys can go ahead and try natural colored burlap would be pretty. Anything, any color you want, any types of fabric even. I've seen them done with pom-poms. I've seen them done with some tooling, sort of like, tutu tooling, or netting, or all kinds of things I've seen stuffed in here. But I've just taken strips of the burlap that I had. This is actually like 7-inch pieces that I've cut into thirds lengthwise. So they're kind of thin strips, and I'm just rolling them. Here, you can see here. This is like another 7-inch piece, and I'm just cutting it in thirds on a, I'm not worried too much about this falling apart because it's going to be staying in that ball forever. And if it comes apart, it won't come apart. It'll stay in that ball. And then I'm using my finger, and then I'm going to use the back of that silver marker that didn't work to tamp it down and move it around. I actually kind of like the way it fell a little bit. It kind of fell in like a ruffle, which was so pretty. So once you have it totally in there, and you have it exactly where you want it, you put the holder back on, which is a little tricky, but it's not as tricky as it used to be when this was glass. Can't tell you how many of these I broke when they were glass ornaments, trying to get the holder back on. We won't talk about it. That was the 90s. It was a different time. And that's it. And of course, we have to add a bow because it's pretty. It's just plain. And we can't have that. So what I want to make sure that it's important that you know that I do is I glue the bow to the string. Oh, I also restrung it on some jute. I add the bow to the string or to that metal clip. I do not add the bow to the silver, to the ornament, because if you ever need to take this out for any reason or you want to redo it, you know how I am about, I'm cheap and I want to redo stuff. Maybe I'm tired of red jute in 2 years and I want to stuff it with some plaid fabric. So as long as I don't seal that closed with the bow, then I can go ahead and I can remake it if I want to. Okay? And then I'm just taking this this fabric, this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, which also would look really cute stuffed in there if you didn't want to write anything on the globe. But anyway, because it had writing on it already, I thought it went with the theme of a fontage. Yeah, there's my word, fontage again. Type of ornament. So I'm just making it into a tiny little bow. Just like we always make bows, right? Jeri makes bows different than everybody else, right? So easy. And I did manage to cut right across the word Mary, and I looped the word Mary just so it could be, you could really see that it was a word, that it was fontage. And I'm cutting off all the extra strings. When you do cut this kind of thin, it did come apart on me when I was tying it, but that's okay. I'll make it look neat in a second. And then if you find it necessary when you make a bow, if you can't manage to tie it right, you can always glue the streamers down where you want them to the backs of the bow. It was pretty too. Okay. Clean up. Everybody, everywhere. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just thinking, oh no, that's upside down. And I want to help aid in the permanency of this bow. So I'll cut the tail so they're even on a little bit of an angle this time. I'm not going to do the dovetail, just cut it on an angle. And then a little glue. So I've taken the knot and I've put it down by the clip, and I'm going to glue straight to the knot and the clip. And that's it for this one. That also will spin around. So because I haven't glued, see how I just spun it around? Because I haven't glued the silver part to the ornament, we can go ahead and move it around. And that's that one. So I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, hope you enjoyed these tutorials. If you did, give them a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family, anybody who might be interested in making one of these. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, join the family. And when you do, a little bell will pop up. Ring that bell and YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye. Merry Christmas. Okay, so it's not plaid. I just confessed it was 25 years old, but it does have a little gold star button in the middle. Yay!